Welcome to Vlog Thursday 395. I had to look at that on here. I should have had that prepared. There's not much of a balcony, or I would actually do this outside, but oddly, this opens. I'm in a hotel room at CompTIA ChannelCon. I'm not going to open it because, one, it's really hot outside. Two, I don't want to drop my laptop the 12 floors down it would be. So I'm going to go sit down. But yes, that's why I'm not in my usual place. Yes, I'm doing this from a hotel room in a Wi-Fi hotspot because reasons. The hotel Wi-Fi when you're at a tech event isn't always that great. But we'll start with the important things. I think important at least, where you can find Tom. Currently, Tom is, as I've been announcing, I'm at CompTIA ChannelCon Atlanta, which that event is essentially over right now. There's a few wrap-up things going on. So that event is just finishing. You'll find me at GERCon, September 26th and 27th in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Wild West Hacking Fest, October 9th through 11th of 2024, Deadwood, South Dakota. Those are the events I have announced right now. More stuff always coming soon. There's more events I might be going to. I'm just trying to figure out which one. Also, newsletter went out today. If you're like, what newsletter? Well, sign up for the newsletter right here. The little QR code makes it easy to do. So, once again, I could maybe believe in some travel router, but I have my travel router. Phone, hotspot, done. This is my travel router, is my phone. I don't have to bring more things with me. I'm a minimalist. I figure out the minimum things I need to get a thing done, and then I'm happy. I don't need anything more than my phone and a hotspot. So that's enough to make this happen. Hopefully I got the right microphone selected. I got the one on my right here. All right. Some people are watching ChannelCon. It's been wonderful interacting with everyone. CompTIA ChannelCon is an interesting event. There's so many people here, many of them, friends I've known for a while. I've made a lot of new friends here. I do like interacting and doing a lot of Q&A with people. So that is definitely something that's a lot of fun, a lot of good discussion around it. So let's see. Yes. But yeah, we'll make sure we bring a Matt Fox with us to one of the next events, so he can come down and hang out. Because me and Matt Fox, even though we've been working together for a little bit now, we've only met in person one time. We talk all the time, but that's kind of a strange thing to have employees for me that are. I mean, we have remote employees, but they're local, like they work remotely, but they come to the office from time to time. So a little different having someone who's not. But back to fun things. The trip down here, I got to visit a client, which is really cool. I'll be talking about that client, and hopefully things will go so I have a few different things to talk about related to the client. We have more proposals for more things we're doing, but I want to showcase. I'm making sure I have a very clear permission to make a social media post for them with their name in it and showing what we're doing for them. And they're just an interesting company that has a lot of the 45 drive storage things. And I want to figure out making sure I can talk about it. I mean, I like there's a big project just landed at the office, a few petabytes of storage, a few big 45 drive servers, and that client implicitly won't let us name them. But hey, I can still talk about the project. I can still talk about all the hardware and the interesting stuff. But I like giving people some of the real world when they say, well, Tom, is this used in more than just the home lab or something? And I'm like, well, absolutely. These are real world solutions we provide to people. They work, they scale, they're functional, they're supportable. And I like talking about that so other people can, think about how they want to introduce these solutions themselves, whether they're managing them from an IT side or want to consume them from a business use case side. So yeah, definitely, want to dive deeper into that, because talking about, how you solve that problem and what the company challenge were, and if you can add the context to who the company is, I think it adds a little bit more to it and makes it a little bit more interesting. Hey, Tom, is it worth it to get a pfSense plus fundamentals and practical application cert? Here's the thing. Certs are interesting, and seeing as, I'm at the place and I have a cookie that says CompTIA community on it. I suppose that's sitting here. And of course I got the CompTIA badge. It does say CNWR, and I have no idea what information you'll find about me if I scan this. So I guess that's out there now. Now I'm curious, what happens when I scan a CompTIA badge? I don't think that directly links to anything. I think you have to have an app. Let's find out though. Now I'm curious, what did I reveal about myself by scanning the badge? But before I get off topic, I want to answer the question it's pulled up. The challenge with certs is, trying to figure out which ones to get. Some people are really good in collecting them all because they're really good at test taking and things like that. What I will say with certs, if you're not sure if you know something about, let's say, pfSense Plus and you want to get certified in it, the advantage of it is at the end of it, you will have then a baseline of if you actually know. Okay, that just gives a number. If you actually know the product or not. And for me, the reason we know, and I know which technicians are very familiar with that, is based on the fact that we do this all the time. So we have a ton of practical experience with it. But if you don't have practical experience with anything, it is it's a way to validate your knowledge, at least by taking the test, that you at least have enough knowledge about it. But there are times when certs are not aligned very well. I may do this as a topic because I want to find out the outcome before I don't want to dump on a company because I only have one source of information, but there is another company that doesn't even come up here very often. But it was interesting because of the way one of my really, really smart technical friends couldn't pass their certification, and it doesn't make any sense why, because he seems to have the answers right, and he's now puzzled some of them that on answers they call out being wrong. So there's times when certs are a little bit dicey, but overall they can be a good thing in the big picture. Certs and degrees get you past the HR gatekeepers, and the reason there's HR gatekeepers. Maybe once we're done with our hiring process at CNWR, I'll talk about how bad this is. I know we've got well over 200 applications, and we put requirements on there before you applied. Think about that from a hiring manager standpoint. How do you deal with a massive amount of applications? You can gatekeep just because someone has to sort through that many applications. And that can be kind of a problem when you're hiring. So there's reasons you might want to do a little gatekeeping. And I have always kind of pushed towards, I don't know if the word social engineering is exactly right, but making a lot of friends in the industry will help your career dramatically because people will go, I already know so-and-so, and they do that thing that we're needing. Why don't we call and see what they're doing? And that is a huge piece for your career path in terms of going forward. General question: how can I use Snort with Omada infrastructure? I just installed Omada SDN system at home. I want to use Snort in Proxmox. Is it possible with Omada software? It's not related to the Omada software. If you wanted to use something like Snort or Suricata, you would have to set up a port mirror to mirror the data, and then you would set up Snort or Suricata in order to listen to it. I'm going to do some new videos on Snort and Suricata and more broadly intrusion detections and IDS systems. Here's the problem. They suck today in 2024. And I might maybe I'll title it the video. Please show some comments what the video title should be. Why IDS sucks or why IDS is useless in 2024. Do I make it clickbaity? I don't know. There's so many people asking about it. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's not that effective against anything anymore. It doesn't have the same efficacy that it did before because the internet has changed. There is so much more traffic today that's fully encrypted. So the only way those things get useful is if you let them see inside and do some traffic inspection. And that still limits some of their utility because there's only so many rules, and define what malicious thing you're trying to do first. Like, what is the malicious thing you're trying to protect against? Getting hacked is what people say. Get more specific than that. What is it that you think Snort or Suricata will protect you against? Someone trying to SSH into your server and trying to throw an attack at it? Okay, that might be something it'll help with. But the other side of it is, why would you have SSH exposed to the internet? What is the attack vector you're looking for that you think it'll do? And then try to determine then if it will do those things. And if it won't do those things, now you're just wasting your time a lot. From a learning experience, I like people playing with Snort and Suricata because from a learning experience, you can learn a lot about false positives or what it can't see and what it can't do. And by the way, if you do a port mirror, it's completely passive at that point. It's not active on your network. It's really just a intrusion detection system, not a prevention system. Also, if you're looking for a more turnkey way to do it, Um, Thomas getting the curse of the hotel Wi-Fi. If you're looking for a more turnkey way to make this happen with Snort and Suricata, look at Security Onion. That would be the ideal way to do that. Which Wi-Fi am I on? I'm on my hotspot. So that's the 5G on my phone having a problem. I didn't know how good it would be, but it's probably not that good. I use Snort No 5-ish. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute since Snort, but probably your best solution if you want to stand something up is get a port mirror going, use something like Security Onion to put it together, and you can do a good traffic inspection on there. Now, I didn't put it in the title because I've not finished my review, but I will let people know I have also been testing the UniFi Fortress Gateway. So because I've been doing testing on it and validating it, I am coming out with a video. It's going to be a little bit more in depth of the changes UniFi has made to firewalls. The Fortress Gateway, I've known about it for a little while. We'll just throw that out there. So it's one of those things. It's why you see everyone with NDAs getting lifted because they finally told us we can talk about it. But I've been talking a little bit more with the folks at Ubiquiti UniFi. They've been listening greatly to the community. That has been wonderful. They've made a lot of good changes. I love the direction you're going in. So that was definitely one of those things that, like, hey, it's pretty cool to see where they're at now. All right. And I see Ferris says, thank you for the Syncthing videos. Yes, the Syncthing stuff as well. I've only seen like 1 or 2 people tell me they just didn't like Syncthing. I mean, it's free and open source. It's not sponsored by Syncthing or anything. I'm just telling you the tool I use that I've helped a lot of other people set up and use that works really well. End of story. There's not a more in-depth thing for it. There's no affiliate code for a free download for Syncthing. So I always it's weird when people like to express just how much they hate some open source project for some reason. But hey, that's just part of life. And sometimes people don't like things. That usually comes in when you start doing the talks about Linux distributions. I like these backgrounds, by the way. These are some of the branding stuff that we're stepping up the game on. I'm not doing a live stream on Discord after this, so that's currently not a thing that I'm doing. My forums, I'm always there, and buy some swag. Hey, look at this shirt here. I've got a lot of people asking about it, man. This is one of the shirts in the swag store. So shop.lawrencesystems.com. There, I am self-promoting for sure. Just wanted to throw those out there while I'm sitting here. What else can we pull up today? I don't have a whole lot because my voice is already hoarse because I've spent the last couple of days talking to people and having a great time. I thought there's a way I can make myself somewhere in the middle. There's a layout change. Oh, I like this layout. I feel like I'm boxed in a little better. The hotel background is not that great. I mean, it's fine, I guess. I'm not in this room much. I crash, I sleep, I start over again. Oh, show off the newsletter. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. See, Matt's keeping me on track here. I'm ready to take a nap. That's really how I feel. Let's pull up the newsletter. I drink coffee and everything, and I am just there we go. I think I gotta zoom in on this. Because why? Whatever. I'll give you guys an idea. I'm not going to read the newsletter to you. You should sign up for the newsletter. Let's see here. Present. Share screen. A tornado strikes twice in Hollywood. And, of course, some references to some current things, which is fun. Cows meet a tornado for the first time. We had some fun writing this newsletter, and it's getting better as we go. We finally got a sponsor, NinjaOne, sponsoring this. NinjaOne. So there is a sponsored message in here from our friends over at NinjaOne, and I think they do a nice job here. One of the things I wanted to point out is one of the lines in here: no lead generation forms, no information to give. Just a story of how business restored operations thanks to their software and real world information that was helpful. No gimmicks. That feels newsworthy itself. So yes, this is a link that can be clicked out of there. That takes you to a page where you can get the case study and information. The people at NinjaOne have been awesome to work with, not just as a company for RMMs, but I thank them completely for just being good people in the community that want to give away a lot of information and help people out in the IT community. And you don't have to be a NinjaOne customer to do it. So it's been definitely really cool. But inside of here, we make a list of some of the stories. I do love the register. Microsoft finds a new way to irritate Windows 11's user, a backup pop-up. Of course there is. Medusa ransomware OPSEC failure. That's a good read. The FTC. Now, I focus on this one a little bit because I feel like, at least here in the US, all of us have a car. And the car industry is terrible. It's just not, there's no winners in this one. Automakers, this is a plural word because it's not like a automaker was being awful. They're all being awful. And I think more people should be aware of it because this is a very direct impact thing that you can share with your customers as well. If you're in the IT space going, hey, it's a common thing where we collectively care. Well, maybe more of us than others, but you can raise awareness about privacy and why you should care about privacy. And that matters. You should be able to have an engaging conversation because this is how we get change. Because the unchecked behavior of these companies is why they're behaving badly. People are still buying cars from these companies and not questioning the why did my insurance go up and things like that. The impact of data breaches and fueling scam campaigns. There's a lot of details about you out there. So I think that's really interesting. The people at Talos are great group of people there that have been sharing a lot of knowledge about stuff. And it kind of tells you that impact caused by this data breaches of how people have information about you and then can use it for, scamming you or attempting to scam you or people out of things. Now, maybe us as a more technical savvy people, we aren't the direct people getting scammed of it, but you probably know someone who is. We do have our Shop Now buttons, our backup and bandwidth shirts, and then we got a list of videos I made, which was, of course, best pfSense packages. I did a kind of a comparison video, not a review, but a comparison video of some of the different options that are out there for the compact gateways. And I want to do one for the bigger ones now, but I knew it's one of those things when you know things, you should do a video on the compact ones because the ones that are available are released. You can't do one on the big ones because a big release was about to be announced 2 days after you did the video. So there's some things in there. I do a Syncthing video, then I did a Syncthing on TrueNAS video, and of course the CrowdStrike disaster. That's still kind of ongoing, but I still did a video talking about it for people who want to know what was going on with CrowdStrike. So, there's lots to talk about there. Oh, let's see. You wish NinjaOne was at ChannelCon. Are you using NinjaOne for backups? At this moment, no. Are we working with them and testing them? Maybe. We might be doing some testing with their backups because they've done a lot of re-engineering of it. But we, at this present moment, are not using their backups. Let's see. You did look a couple years ago at them. They've rewrote the whole backup software in NinjaOne. It is not the same software from even like 2 years ago. So there's been a pretty big code undertaking of updating it. That's why we're willing to look at it again. It's kind of an interesting piece of software now that it's all been rewritten. I actually like the emails when I have been filled into Lawrence Systems forums in a while. Yeah. We have in here, let me get to the bottom of the newsletter. I cut it off too soon. A couple more things we added in the newsletter now. We have some of the popular posts we've been putting in there. So things you can click on. And these are a little bit, like Matt says, spicy for the last 279 days. Still a hot topic. People love debating on this one. And I'm just like, man, this one's been popular too. How to build Zen Orchestra from sources 2024. And it's still one of our posts that are on there. The other one, there is one more that's actually pretty popular, but it doesn't need to be listed. Apparently, my forums is the top search result, I think, for people trying to find the firmware for a particular controller, and someone has the firmware and been pointing people in the right directions of where to get it, so you can reflash these. I think it's some Dell controllers. I don't really follow that particular thread. I just know it's popular all the time because people have been helping each other sort out stupid firmware to get home lab stuff redone. And it's cool that that's there. I'm not hosting the files there. I wouldn't do that, but people are sending it because I do not allow file hosting on there. I don't know what legal problems I would run into, and I don't want to know. So we don't host forum files at all. That's not just. I'm trying to see if I have some water over there. But I'm going to wind this down in only a few more minutes. One, I'm thirsty, and I don't know if there's any more water in my room. You got to drink it all? Or did my wife leave one? My wife left a while. I'm going to get her water. Ugh. By the way, with my microphone, I can wander around and still... Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's much better. I just finished lunch not long before I got up here. That's part of the reason I want a nap. I'm ready to settle down for a minute. But nonetheless, I'm going to wind this down pretty shortly here. I have more new stuff that I've been working on. But as far as reviews, also worth noting, and I don't know that let me see if I have any other pictures of it. I am doing the review for the Netgate, this one here, the new Netgate A300. So that's going to be out really soon. Probably the PERC IT firmware that you need for ZFS. Yes, you have to get the Dell controllers reflashed so you talk to them directly, and talking them to directly allows you to have ZFS on there. So yes, there's that. I will be doing a setup video very soon for our project because we get to build the project. And I want to make some time lapses. Matter of fact, I have an opportunity here to outdo something that Linus did. I think we might have enough drives for this. Hold on. Linus Tech Tips. If we can find the photo of it. I know which video it's from, so we'll just open this up in a new tab so I can share it. So who remembers when Linus had the giant stack of drives? We may have more drives than Linus for this next project. So I'm trying to decide how rational it is as a person to stack drives in that way in order to just outdo them in the video. But we have two 45, I think there's two 45 drive XL60s that we have. So that will be a video that comes out pretty soon, probably, of doing the build of the project for the client. So it's definitely, we have some big stuff that we're working on. I'm so excited because it's stuff I'll be able to really show off of like what these look like when we put it all together. And they're not your average projects. These are projects that are really big. And I want to be able to, I can't talk about the customer directly, but I can talk about what we're doing for the customer, and it makes it very interesting. So yeah, definitely some exciting stuff. Those are some of the previews of things coming out. And besides all the UniFi stuff, I'm testing. Like I said, I have a few things from UniFi as release dates come for things, and as updates come, because some of these are software changes that are just in the pipeline. You can see some of them yourself in the beta, so you can see the changes that are coming. And some of those things are like DNS and the way they handle stuff. And Cody from Mac Telecom Networks talked about their new inspection tool. So yes, the Ubiquiti is getting into the traffic inspection game. So definitely being kind of talking about what they're doing with it. I think it's interesting, and it's good to have, I think, some affordable alternatives that Ubiquiti is really filling some gaps on making some really high quality equipment that, they've used the name enterprise for a while, which is, yes, I know. And a lot of people will call them out and say, yeah, they weren't ready when they were using it. And there's probably some truth to that. You're always splitting hairs when you call things enterprise. I won't lie. It's not like that's a defined, qualified, only means this type of term. But now that they have stuff with dual power supplies that are removable, that to me is kind of table stakes when it comes to that. You know, as anyone who's worked in IT, power supplies are probably one of, less so now today, but still over time, a common source of failure. There's a reason we have redundant power supplies and things. And now that they have not just redundant, but removable redundant and things like that, that type of work is where you can better slap that enterprise name on there to have an understanding of it. So I'm looking forward to doing some of the videos on that as well. Oh no, I see my internet is cutting out again. The 5G on my phone's not enough, I guess. It's it says it's got full signal. I don't know what's causing it to cut out. My phone, I think it's just there's that many people. It's a big event. There's a lot of people here. My wife has just wandered in. Yep. She came back to the room. She's got her booth put away. She's running the Blumera booth here at the event. Hi, honey.
Hello.
So, any other questions before we wind this down? Feel free, if you chat, man, throw some questions in here for I make sure I get them all answered for you. So if not, you have to hit me up on the forums. Just started doing a proof of concept for XCVG for a client with a view of shifting them off of VMware. The XO interface is a bit sketchy. I don't find it sketchy at all. I mean, I like it, but it's not for everyone. I'll admit there's definitely people. What did someone call it? The Crayola Crayons Tonka interface? Like, it's childish. I mean, I think their XO6 looks really nice, but XO5, yeah, it's definitely, you know, it's kind of a 10-year-old interface. We'll just say it that way. It could be better. It's on its way to being better. The reality is, it still looks better than VMware, in my opinion. I think VMware's interface is horrible, but that comes down to UI. When it comes to functionality, though, we're moving. One of the projects we're doing for a company is a very, very large. I think the project is right around $300,000, moving people from VMware over to XCP-NG. So yes, this does scale. Yes, this does work. And that's one of the other, there's two different projects that we're doing simultaneously. One's going to be more storage related and one's hypervisor related. And the hypervisor related one is all migrating people off VMware, and it's a larger infrastructure we're doing. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And it's definitely a doable thing. Now, opinions on the UI, yeah, that's a thing. So does CNWR use Blumera? Yes, we do. We are a Blumera customer. And I think, hey, Cass, are you still our Blumera rep? I think she walked out. I think my wife is still our Blumera rep as well. Let's see. Hoping the next one is better. They have a new preview. Let me look at it real quick. So if we go to Zen Orchestra blog, I think they have a new preview of the latest one. I haven't really looked at it because I've been at the conference. I haven't really done much online. But this is part of their blog release for 597. What do they got here? I seen something in there. XO6. Okay. There's more updates to 6, but it's obviously not done yet. But they have more previews of what it looks like. They're going steady, and I think that's great. I like it that they're doing things in a very controlled manner as opposed to a haphazard, or as opposed to switching us to a new version and making everything broke. It's their development cycle is very methodical and careful, and I think I appreciate that because I like that type of development cycle where there's a slow iterations and a ton of testing, because that way once they release it, it's not like I'm worried and I have to hold clients back like, oh no, new version, hold back for a long time because, you know, there's not enough testing. And it's much the opposite. There's so much testing. It makes them a little slower, which causes people to complain. But that's a better type of complaining. Hey, they're slow to release the new features they're offering. Yeah, it's a long build cycle with a lot of validation testing. So yes, absolutely. Will NetBird be built into pfSense? I have no idea. There's no timeline on that. I know NetBird's working on a FreeBSD version. So because they're going to support FreeBSD, you'll be able to integrate it in. How long till that becomes an actual plugin? I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to integrate in a pfSense. Ideally, you'd want it to be as integrated as Tailscale. But is it as easy to integrate as Tailscale? I don't have an answer to that. What else do we have? Oh, nice to know. Nice to know you're doing that. Adds more confidence. Had a meeting with Vates. Nice people. Yeah, I do like the Vates people quite a bit. They've been solid to work with. Like they're responsive, and if you have questions, they will answer them. So they're not any. I would rate them very easy to work with, especially compared to some of the other people out there. But with that, we're at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to wind it down here. I got some things I got to go do. I was just looking at my messages I got to catch up on. So many things here because we have a bunch of friends meeting up now after to go do stuff. All right. Cool. Sounds like they have that sorted out. People have planned around me. I just said, yes, I'll do a thing if you guys plan it. So that is confirmed, which means I have to now go further into doing that thing and making sure things happen. So thanks everyone for joining. I will be back at it as I fly back tomorrow and back to making videos and talking about all the fun things and finishing some projects and all that stuff. But as always, hit me up at forums.lawrencesystems.com. I do have feedback at lawrencesystems.com somewhere. Well, I don't have that one on here. I still have the Vlog Thursday one, but I also made feedback at lawrencesystems.com. They all go into the community communication box, as I call it. So if you want to reach out to me that way, you can, or hit me up on one of the socials that I'm on, which just email is way better. Email and forums are the two places that I'm easiest to talk to because I'm pretty adamant about checking all those. But thanks, everyone, and take care.